Good evening, viewers. Another episode of Guest with Nazir. We are honored. Today's personality of the week is Barrister Amjad Malik, who is Chairman, Board of Governors for Overseas Pakistanis. Welcome in our show.
Thank you, Nazir.
Please, Mr. Malik, tell our viewers about your responsibility and what is this role?
This is historically, Chairman Board of Governor was normally a federal minister in Pakistan in Overseas Ministry. Prime Minister last year, in 2016 in April, decided to appoint members of Board of Governors from all over the world. There were, I think, five to six, and also give the chairmanship to one of the overseas Pakistani. So it's a historic thing that one of your brother is chairing that board, which makes policy to reform the system, to advise and assist on how we deal with overseas Pakistanis, especially overseas workers who go to Middle East for work.
But when we talk about overseas Pakistanis and your job description, so at the moment, what you're doing about that, and please tell us about your responsibilities.
When I took over, the whole of the board revamped the whole policy making issues. We had a session and we checked the whole mission and vision and our objectives. And in those objectives, we set deadlines and time frame. Started having facilitation centers. So 5 points we discussed, that how we will raise the image of Pakistan, how we can make it better, how we can end the red tape, better connectivity, and inform them and take their consultation, how we reform our service sector, including our embassies, how we enhance the investment in Pakistan, and how we ensure good governance and accountability.
Mr. Malik,
so these were the five.
Sorry to interrupt. You mentioned about the red tapes. How you can overcome our red tapes? It is a very challenging job.
This was one of the, I think, the top priority. Overseas Pakistanis without right to vote, representation, without access to even the Supreme Court, they can't even issue petition. So we were thinking that this 8 million group of people have restricted access to the amenities, services, facilities, and access to justice, fairness. And that's why we didn't think that we are all alone, the decision makers for overseas Pakistanis. So to better our connectivity, we set up a portal for complaints. We invited them through questionnaire to give suggestion. We set up a 200 people advisory panel. We took people from all region. We had open kacharis, open public meetings. I have visited around about 23 places worldwide.
So for our viewers' interest, so what are the main issues you have picked up when you have met the people, you met the ambassadors, you met the different personalities overseas?
Region to region. Overseas Pakistanis has got big claim that they don't have same sort of status in Pakistan which all other even minorities enjoy. They don't have right to vote. They don't have voice and representation. They don't have fair treatment at the airports, in courts, if their livelihood, their possession is taken off their properties. They don't have the quick justice if they are stuck in the legal system. So, and the people from UK, Europe, they feel that the customer service, if they engage any outlet, they frequent going and coming through the airport system, the customs, at the immigration, Nadra, passport, the facilities of that. So 1.2 million in Britain.
We will come to that point. You have mentioned here a point about the right to vote. But in the present legislation, which has recently been submitted to the National Assembly and the Senate, there is no point about the overseas Pakistanis. And there was a promise from the sitting government that they will give even the right of representation to overseas Pakistanis. But nothing is there.
Yes, you're very right. Supreme Court has opined that we should be given right of vote, and there should be a mechanism established whereby 8 million people can cast vote. Now, what is the mechanism is for the Election Commission and the government and the parliament to ensure. But because we have very little representation in parliament, parliamentary committees, Senate, National Assembly, decision-making bodies, bureaucracy, judiciary, therefore nobody raises that voice. The few outlets or the few organizations working abroad or the few people who have had links with the political parties. They go in Pakistan and they try to raise it, but their voice is snubbed. That is why it is a status quo as far as the right to vote is concerned. We are actively trying that, like Azad Kashmir has got one member in the parliament, which is a seat designated for overseas. We are saying that we should be given 5 seats in the National Assembly and Senate. That will pave way for our people to go on the committee and represent our interest, and on the basis of the indirect election, like women or technocrats.
But everybody knows that this is required. Why and what are the hindrances in that way? So why the government is not implementing that? Even opposition is saying whenever they have a different interaction within the UK, opposition and the government member, they visited UK, they say in the public parties and in seminars that, oh yes, we will give that. But when they reach Islamabad, the things are changed, so they are not implementing it.
We are on policy level endorsing, putting in all governmental papers and recommendations and reports, the right to vote and representation is a vital one. We are trying our best that when you are engaging with political parties or the leaders in overseas world, make sure you are united. Your demand is for the representation. No matter who comes, if they take role models and they go in National Assembly or the Senate, then I can assure you that your voice will be doubled, multiplied, and you will be able to have some results. At the moment, what happens is we only confine to welcoming the leaders at the airport. The constructive, meaningful, purposeful dialogue is missing. We have sent many people from abroad in those decision-making bodies, but they are confined to individuals. We could not galvanize to have a maximum support so that the parliament raises this issue on cross-party level. I am trying that on cross-party levels, like People's Party, PTI and PMLN, they jointly go for the right to representation, and that's what is the way forward.
The former governor Punjab, Mohammed Sarwar Saab, has been there, and when he tried to work with the government and in his different interaction with media and also with the newspaper, he mentioned there are so many difficulties. He also mentioned about the red tape. So do you think that the people who have lived here, studied here, can work with the red tape?
Definitely. That's the only way forward. I wish Governor Sarwar had stayed till his tenure. The situation would have been different. He and Chief Minister Punjab definitely worked for the Overseas Commission in Punjab. Punjab Commission, I drafted the bill for it. It's an excellent role model office, has dealt with around about 8,000 complaints. 36 districts in Punjab have the Overseas District Advisory Committee. One person is from overseas. DCO, DPO, DRO and one member of parliament sits in that. They're trying to arbitrate issues. So that is the way forward.
So overseas Pakistanis have human rights cell within the Supreme Court of Pakistan. At the same time, there is your institution is also working with the complaints, and also in the Punjab there is another bodies working. So how closely you are working together, or they are working in a different direction? So how closely you work together?
OPF is mainly the policy making body. Supreme Court cell is, we requested Tasaddiq Jilani Saab to set up a Supreme Court cell, because when the matter goes to court, it's lost. So no OPC, no other organization can intervene. That's why we needed that organization. We have gone one step further. Last year, we met the Secretary Law and Justice Commission. We made a bid and request to the Supreme Court. Until the specialist court are set up, you devise a mechanism whereby our cases are dealt with speedily, which they have ordered in the National Judicial Commission in their policy. They have said and directed to the Chief Justices of all provinces to deal with the cases of the overseas Pakistanis within 6 months in all districts. And that's the good sign until we have specialist courts. And now also these commissions, we are also making a commission in Overseas Pakistani Commission in Azad Kashmir. So these commissions are vital, because after 18th Amendment, law and order, education, health is the duty of the respective provinces. So it is best to have devolution So you should have your own board, you should have all your district committees.
What steps, sorry for interrupting, what steps we have taken to improve the services at airport? Because last year, if you remember, there was few incident was circulating in the social media and also in the mainstream media. So what steps you have taken with your institution and with the airport authorities so overseas Pakistanis can go there and enjoy their journey, enjoy their holidays?
The incident you're mentioning, Norwegian citizen being ill-treated, it was the OPF staff which intervened and we honored him. Prime Minister took a notice, Interior Minister took a notice, and I think they sacked the people who were involved, and there are disciplinary inquiries ongoing. We have set up around 8 OPF facilitation centers at the 8 international airports. So wherever there is a flight coming.
So they are 24 hours available?
24 hours in 3 shifts. We have set up a 24-hour helpline, 111-040-040 is the Islamabad number. You can dial it from anywhere in the world and somebody will pick it up and take your call. There is on opf.org.pk, there is a website, there is a portal operational. We have taken around about 20,000 complaints so far. We're trying to passport those complaints to OPC Punjab and OPC Azad Kashmir and all the chief secretaries of the provinces. So at the moment, we're trying to galvanize it so that there is one portal which deals with complaint and all the overseas commissions are part of it. Now, the airport, we have tried that people share their feedback. We are trying our best that people go and visit their desks. People, if there is any malfeasance, they share their complaints with us. They use the portal at the website.
So your stress is the people should give their feedback,
yes,
and when there is a complaint, please lodge it.
Yes.
Next very vital question. Overseas Pakistanis are victim of, this is a very, I will say, it's a spreading disease, illegal possessions. People took the people's properties and when they comes to the time, the courts take long time. So what facilities have been created and what mechanism has been set up for the overseas Pakistanis who are victim of these type of activities?
It's a two-pronged strategy. We are trying to change the mindset about it so that the land mafia is deterred, that people who work hard in overseas, their properties, it's a national state trust. It is the state responsibility to protect the property of those people who are working tirelessly abroad to send remittances of around 20 billion to Pakistan. So we are changing the mindset, and also this OPCs, all provinces must have it so that they have representation of overseas. So they have the district committee so that they can try to arbitrate as quickly as possible local DC or DPO so that the matter is resolved. And also, on top of it, we are trying our best that the courts does not let people hide behind the injunction, stay orders. We are trying that the matter should be processed straight away for the full matter, full hearing. A matter should be resolved within 3 hearings, within 6 months. That is the only way that you can return the possession to the lawful owner.
How you see the recent announcement of the Chief Justice of Punjab, Lahore High Court, that there will be speedy court facilities for the overseas Pakistanis? How do you see this step?
This is the National Judicial Policy decision result. They are saying until the new courts arrive, that they administratively can monitor through district session judges. So Punjab has kick-started the work that they want to have an outlet in High Court, in the centre in Lahore, and all 36 districts through their district and session judge. They want to speed up the trials which are pending before them. And I think that is administratively Chief Justice, because it's a proactive Chief Justice, Sayyid Mansoor Ali Shah, and I think that's the right step. But we need specialist courts, and for that Parliament and the government will have to enact legislation or make courts like the Ehtisab Adalat, like the
any other court or tribunal,
any customs and tribunal courts or drug court. We need overseas Pakistani courts, and the model we have is Indian Punjab. Indian Punjab has made land mafia history in the Punjab, and I think the kind of passion and the feeling and the zeal I see in the Chief Minister Punjab, who invited me to draft this whole structure, the concept.
So
and
do you think it will be implemented?
I think if he implements the passion he has, I think he'll make the land mafia history in Punjab of our side as well.
Mr. Malik, we talk about a lot of problems, but very little has been said about the youth. Because when we talk about the younger generation, it's a very fewer chance that overseas Pakistanis or British Pakistanis would love to go to Pakistan. So, what steps your institution has taken that youth can go there, enjoy their holidays, and get engaged, and even do some studies there?
In the 23 open kacharis, open court we held at the embassies overseas, all over the world, we try to engage with the youngsters. We are trying to acknowledge our youth. We try to honor them and promote the idea of work experience at the embassy so they learn about Pakistan, engage with them, the youth leaders and the community leaders. We are re-establishing that there should be a bilateral exchange of the students. We have role model two big colleges in Islamabad, F8 girls and the Pindi boys, OPF colleges. We have kick-started that we celebrate all the national days, and I'm going and attending the birthday of Qaid Muhammad Ali Jinnah. So we are trying to the exchange of the bilateral exchange of our role models here, and the toppers already come to Britain every year. The Chief Minister Punjab's initiative there, he sends every year the gold medalist to visit UK. So that is the way that their delegations come here, and our delegation, our children go to Pakistan on a study visit. That will promote a harmony and the information which is required.
These are the good steps, but what I have noticed, even the federal government, I'm not talking about the Punjab, I'm not talking about the KPK, I'm talking about the Islamabad. The federal government is spending a very little resource on education. Yes, it is a good gesture to send some of top students to overseas, have a look at the universities. But what is the guilt of the other students who are there, who are not getting good facilities, good buildings, good even the toilets or any facilities? So what suggestion I know you are not, it's not part of your responsibility, but what suggestion you will give to the government?
That is the education resources in Pakistan you're talking about. I think we are blessed that we have 1.2 million diaspora here, and people are having free education and all the opportunities to go high and up. But I think it's the engagement. The people who are having a luxury life, they should not forget the people who are less advantaged or disadvantaged. And we should try to promote and keep in touch with them, try to have a bilateral interactions, and do something good like people like you are doing in the back home in your own city, village, or part of the country you belong. And if you raise awareness, and that is the way forward, that you will draw the attention of the decision makers to pay attention on the subjects you have mentioned. But I believe that education is also the priority of the government, and I think as long as we keep an eye on it and keep raising it, that people will get the fair chance and opportunity to go high.
Being a British Pakistani, you have taken this role, Mr. Malik. I know it's a challenge because we are coming to the end of the program. What 3 pledges you will give to overseas Pakistanis who are watching our program all over the world? So what 3 pledges you will give to the overseas Pakistanis which you are saying, yes, I will do it?
I think my first pledge was that I will try to give a role model corruption-free governance. As long as I am the chief of Overseas Pakistani Foundation, I am not the executive authority, but I'll ensure that we set some rules, give some governance, give some role model facility which is corruption-free. That's number 1. Number 2, I am not all in all. I will never consider all in all. I will try to bridge the gap. I will try to foster your relation with Pakistan and bridge the gap and facilitate the OPEC annual International Migration Day celebrations, portals, airport desks, annual report, website. These are the steps, tools, so that your relation is strengthened with Pakistan. And finally, I will try to open my door for everyone.
So open door policy.
Open door policy. Indiscriminately. Everybody and anybody, whether they're from opposition, government, whether they are our critics, whether they like us, they don't like us, our doors are open for them, for their criticism, for their feedback, for their evaluation of the services provided by OPF and the Pakistani outlet.
Thank you very much, Mr. Malik. Viewers, I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. In coming days, we'll bring more guests. Keep watching Sheffield Live.